Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video by Vertex Investing. Now, this video I was actually going to plan to give you a breakdown of this trade. However, it's turned into something else. Now obviously by the title it does sound a little bit deceiving, but it's the reason that the title was is what it is because of a message I've just received before I decided to before I decided to record this breakdown for you guys. Now first I just want to say, if you haven't already, just make sure you have subscribed to the Vertex Investing channel so you don't miss out any of the free content that we share on this channel for you guys. Now I also want to say thank you and take a moment to appreciate all the messages that we have received regarding the webinar that we released 2 weeks ago, and it's actually one of those messages that caught my attention, and which I'll show you right now. And this message is showing you that this person has took what we taught in the webinar and he's passed his Ftmo on this very trade that I'm on at the moment. And in fact he passed it and he smashed the profit target by 5%, and I just think that's bizarre. And not only him, we actually had another message who passed the first stage of the Ftmo. So the first guy passed the verification, and the second guy, he passed the evaluation process. And I just think it's crazy, and I'm glad that some of you have taken and I can show you all the messages better. I won't bore you with that, but you know, I just think it's crazy that some of you have taken so much value from the webinar I've given you, and to be honest, it makes it worthwhile for me to be able to provide that for you guys. And it makes my day to get messages like this. But without further ado, I will show you exactly what he did. I'll show you I won't show you what I did to here. I'll show you how I got to this stage, but I won't show you my entry, as that is what we teach in our course. So this trade, I hit a TP of 70R. So I don't normally set a TP because I felt like this trade had more potential, but in this case I knew that I wouldn't be able to monitor the trade, so I set a TP for this one. Normally I trail my stop loss, and that's something I've covered in my previous videos if you want to know how to do that. So the reason I've taken this trade, obviously what we can see, as we taught in the webinar, we have to understand market structure. We can see that we've broken structure to the downside, we've broken bearish structure, right? And that structure impulsed and came from, there we go, that structure impulsed and came from here, right? There we go. Now obviously for us that is far too big. Now I'm going to show you where he entered, where the first guy entered. So he entered off the 50, oh that's huge, let me get rid of that, there we go. The first guy, he entered off the 15 minute OB, and he took the 50% of this. There we go. And let me just make it easier for me to mark out for you guys. And the stop loss was above here. So he had a 5 pip stop loss. Actually, I know he had a 5 pip stop loss. So I'll go back to the 1 hour. So this was his trade. His trade would have been, let me hide mine for the moment. His trade was from here. He had a 5 pip stop, and his TP was the 4 hour low. Now he didn't set a TP as far as I'm aware, and what he actually did is he was running way past the profit target, and he didn't realize, because I don't think he works a 9 to 5, so he wasn't able to monitor. To be fair, he should have set a TP, so set it to what his Ftmo target, whatever that was. But I know that he was running in a little bit of drawdown anyway on his verification stage, and then he passed it on this one trade alone. Now this trade, the target is actually a 50R target, and to be honest, that is crazy. I don't think he could have had a tighter stop loss in this. To be fair, 5 pips is a strong stop loss. I'll be happy with that, to be honest. My entry gave me a 3 pip stop loss, which isn't exactly a huge difference in that sense, but it gave me a 20R more. But I just want to say, like, this is crazy that someone's been able to to take away so much value from the webinar. It just makes it, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. But just to break it down for you guys, how he got there. So we start off with the higher time frame. So in this case, we used the 4 hour. I used the 4 hour. I didn't go any higher than this, purely because it was very clear to me that we've got this bearish break. This impulse came from somewhere in there, so that is our point of interest. As I said, you refine it down to what you can. So the block that I had, the order block, was the 15-minute order block that I had, which was in there. Let me get rid of, actually I'll leave his mark in there. That was a 15-minute OB. Now obviously with the strategy we taught on the webinar, that would have been your entry, which is absolutely solid. My entry had a bit more refinement. My entry was actually on the 15-second time frame. It could have been on the 1 minute, whatever, but for me, I just found a really clear entry, and it gave me a 3 pip stop, which is still which is solid anyway. But 5 pip stop on this trade is crazy. And the fact, and it just shows you that even with the strategies that we showed for free, can give you some solid risk to rewards. The only difference is you don't really get much confirmation, as in we get an added layer of confirmation when we enter, because we wait for price to actually get in there. We don't place, like I don't know when he placed a trade, but he must have placed it at some point when price broke this structure, so he would have been waiting for this at this point. But our entry is actually when price tapped into it, and then we got an entry. So my entry was actually lower down. My entry was somewhere around, my entry was somewhere around here. It was somewhere around there, and it was a 3 pip stop. So there we go. Okay, I'll just leave it as that. So my entry was even lower than his entry, but I got a tighter risk to reward, and I didn't close, I set a TP of 70R just to secure. So I used 2%, so to secure 140% on one trade in the space of 22 hours is absolutely crazy. And the fact that this person has passed his verification on this one trade alone just shows the power of this strategy. So make sure you do your work and watch the videos over and over just to understand the concept. And I'll be trying to do more breakdowns like this to give you some more examples that you can learn from, but this was a very straight cut forward one. It's more, you look for the break structure, you find what caused it. It was this one, refine that OB, and your entry is going to be within that. Simple as that. Our entry is a bit different. We have a bit more confirmation that if this OB is correct, because sometimes you may get like several OBs, because obviously you've got this breaker structure and this can be considered an OB. However, for us, because we had this clear OB, and this is a refined OB in that sense, so make sure you do your research on that to understand why, or of course join our course or join our bootcamp to understand a bit more. He actually did his own work to find out why this is the refined OB, because obviously in the webinar I taught that it's the last, for a bearish move, the OB is the last bullish candle before the impulse down, right, which is this impulse. So yeah, I just think it's crazy that he's taking so much value, and it wasn't even him. There was several people who were messaging us with trades. And make sure if you join our free group, you'll see these messages that we get on Instagram, on Telegram. I don't think we got any emails. Actually, I didn't see any emails, but it just shows you how powerful this strategy can be. And bear in mind, this guy who passed his verification was using a strategy that was giving him a solid 1 to 3 risk to reward consistently, and probably had a higher strike rate than us, but our risk to reward will always outweigh the strike rate in that sense. Our strike rate varies between 60 to 70%. Actually, I don't think we've hit 70%. I don't think we hit 70% over the last month. It's been fairly hit and miss, but we've got especially the one that we showed you in the webinar. But our confirmation entry gives you a better strike rate and a better risk to reward. But it just shows you the power of the strategy that we taught for free, and it's it's given to you, and all you need to do is put the effort in. But for now, I will leave you guys be, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you want to find out more, make sure you either join our free Telegram group, follow our Instagram at Vertex Investing. The links are below. And if you want to find out more, obviously just email us, contact us, or if you want to join our course, visit our website, so www.vertexinvesting.co.uk. And I hope to see you guys soon, but I'll be back with another breakdown as soon as I get another trade to do a breakdown of. But yeah, for now, take care and trade safe.